Okay, well, today I am with a doctor, chiropractor who has done a lot of interesting things, a lot of fun things with Oklahoma Chiropractic, been featured with different news outlets, been featured with TikTok. So we're going to learn all about, maybe not all the secrets, but a lot of fun stuff today. So welcome and thanks for talking to us today. I know you've been busy and opening a new space and everything. So I really appreciate you getting in touch.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks. So, Dr. Joren Whitley, I'm a chiropractor with Oklahoma Chiropractic. I'm a human and animal chiropractor. So I work on people and animals in the same space. My office is specifically designed to have a separate animal space and a separate human space. And I'm not talking like one or two dogs a day. We're talking upwards of 20 dogs a day, or horses or cats or whatever may come in the office. So I'm running both offices. It's kind of interesting. Whenever it comes to like the social media aspect and stuff, it definitely makes things really interesting because I'm either the animal chiropractor or I'm the human chiropractor, but people don't really get that I do both. So
yes,
yeah, it's fun.
So let's dig into your social media. What is your goal for doing social media for both sides of your practice?
Yeah, so the biggest thing for me in social media is that I want people to know I'm here, and to an extent. So whenever I'm looking at, there are different aspects to social media, and this gets really, really deep. But like TikTok is international. So whenever I'm on TikTok, the goal is not necessarily to get patients through what I post on TikTok. Yes, it definitely does bring patients in, but the goal is education. The goal is putting it out there that I'm an animal chiropractor, that I'm a human chiropractor, that if an animal can get chiropractic care, then a human should also be able to get that kind of care. And if an animal can get relief and they have no bias, they have no preconceived notions of who I am or what I do or what chiropractic is, if they can get better, then people should be able to get better too. So that's the TikTok aspect of it. Whenever I'm looking at like Facebook and Instagram, and then sometimes with TikTok, when it comes to like TikTok ads or whatnot, I'm looking at local exposure. So TikTok is very international, whereas Instagram and Facebook and all is very, very, very niche. Like if you look at Facebook, most of the time people that if you post something, the only people that see that are your friends or the people that look at it. So it'd be like me going, I really hope I'm gonna hold a concert tonight, and I'm really hoping everybody comes. I'm gonna put a flyer on my door right here. I really hope that everybody in Oklahoma City sees this flyer inside my house on my door. It's like, well, that doesn't necessarily make sense, but if you're there are ways that you can branch out there and then be able to post that stuff out there, but it's a very small group of people versus putting something on TikTok where it's an international platform. So I see it for that, and I use it. I use TikTok as the international platform of education, and then I use the other smaller venues or avenues of social media to help kind of grow my practice and let people around me know I'm around.
We can see that like when I was looking at your Oklahoma Chiropractic Instagram, you have some reels, you have some graphics, you have photos, like you've done it's a wonderful job of diversifying that and educating and having that entertainment and inspiring people. But tell us a little bit what's working best for you, because on TikTok, as of last night, you had like 33 million likes, 1.5 million followers. Like clearly that's working for you. So tell us more about what's working and how you've kind of gotten there and figured that out.
Yeah, so TikTok actually started with basically me posting something as a joke. Me going, oh, this new platform, let me go ahead and post an animal video. And it got taken down within about 5 hours or so for animal abuse. And I was upset, and I was like, this is stupid. So I sent a message to TikTok and I was like, here's my license. I'm an animal chiropractor. This is what's going on. And at the same time, I posted another video kind of as well, I'm going to get away with this. So I posted another video, and it immediately got, it actually had over 40 million views on that one video. And that's whenever India and all that was involved in TikTok really, really heavy. I had that one video, I think had like 60 or 70 million views, and it was just took off. And this was 2 years ago when TikTok was around, but not every single person had it. It was the older generations were starting to get into it because it was this thing that my kid does or my grandkid does or whatever. And every kid that came in the office was dancing and look at this TikTok, and I have a TikTok. And it was just it was just kind of like a different environment, but that's whenever it first kind of really started. So views were low, and I say low as in like some people's videos are getting 300 million views or something now because there are more people on the platform. So whenever there were less people on the platform, having 40, 50, 60 million views was a lot. And also most people don't realize that there's, you know, such a thing as animal chiropractic. So that's what helped my stuff take off, is the shock factor of what
Yeah.
is this? I've never heard of this before. And that still carries to today because people start seeing the benefit of it, and I can help an animal or whatever. I realized a long time ago that if I show a video of me working on a person, it may or may not get attention or traction. If I show a picture of me working on a child or a baby, people are like, "Whoa, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
I may be interested, I may not be interested. But as soon as I show them an animal, they're like, "What?" And they were like, "I need to see more." And so then they continuously look for that next one. I will say there have been some struggles with TikTok for sure because of what I do. One is chiropractors, we're constantly bashed for this is fraud, this is fake, this is whatever. But in the animal realm, now I'm dealing with this is animal abuse. I'm filing animal abuse charges against you. We're reaming your page for this or that. We think that your stuff is a hoax, so we're going to spam your accounts or your call your phones up or whatever. So there's definitely been some negative with that. And I got to a point where I realized like I don't read the comments anymore because the comments are very, very negative. And very quickly, whenever you start getting the message, you go kill yourself and crap like that. You realize that TikTok, that platform, is reaching everyone in the world with no filter. And so then the Instagram side of it or the Facebook side of it is a little less like that. But overall, like what we've been doing is with me specifically, the animal stuff has really helped and taken off. And we've even played around with posting some human videos in there, and they don't get any traction at all compared to this, because this is what I'm known for. I'm known as the animal chiropractor. So those videos, they expect those videos. The human videos, unless it's something just absolutely crazy or fabricated, like Dr. Cracks, guy drives me nuts on social media, and I'm not bashing any one person, but whenever you make an adjustment and then there's an overlay sound of an adjustment, and for a fact, like as an experienced chiropractor of 6+ years, the audible sound, that like that bone did not make that sound, that ear did not pop 3 times. Like the sound, and that it's not real. But those things get a lot of attention and a lot of traction. So then people are, oh my gosh, I got to see the next thing, and let me adjust this famous person so that I can continue that traction, versus it being like what we do. And so it becomes more of a celebrity stunt than it does anything else. So what I'm getting at is there are multiple ways that somebody can use something like TikTok to gain that traction. Sometimes it's I don't want to say falsifying, but it's like you can do that awe factor and that wow factor to try to get people. Educational factor gets people a lot. I mean, that draws people's attention. If it's something I can do at home, or wow, I can go try this. Yesterday, I saw a video of like somebody like learning, like doing a whistle thing. And I tried it for like 30 minutes till I was blue in the face, because it was an educational thing. Hey, you can do this at home. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can do that. I still haven't figured out how to do it. But those kinds of things gain traction. So if it's something educational, at the same time that we don't sacrifice our professionalism, where I'm not going to go around and you're not going to see me dancing and doing a bunch of stuff. And then, not that anything is wrong with that, but like for me specifically, I'm not going to do that when I've already created a set type of platform. It's kind of like if somebody is a pediatric chiropractor and then they start saying like, hey, we are the sports athletics chiropractor of this. It's like, well, but your whole platform has been on pediatric. Why did you suddenly change? And what's going on here? If my entire platform is over animals and all of a sudden you see me dancing, it's like, well, that's not your typical thing you would normally do. That looks weird. But going over to like the Instagram and Facebook stuff, when it comes to that, it's checking algorithms. It's checking to see, what's the appropriate time during the day to post. There is a time frame of people within your area, and when do they wake up? When are they on social media, geofencing and all this other junk? It's become so hard sometimes. In all reality, I don't handle any of my social media anymore. It got to a point where, as a doctor, it was too much on me, because there are the algorithms that are constantly changing. There are the new updated ways to do something, click funneling and all of this stuff. And it's too much for me to sit there and think about all that when I need to be present with my patients. So I know that's part of what you do, and which is fantastic. And I highly recommend anybody jump on and let somebody else take care of your stuff, because it's kind of like we only have so much time in the day and so much energy, and that energy needs to be given to our patients first. I say first, but like whenever we're in the office, energy needs to be given to the patients. We still have to have energy at the end of the day for our families.
Right.
We have to have energy at the end of the day for ourselves. And just like you would pay somebody to come in and paint your house because you don't have enough time, or something else in your office, paying somebody to do your social media, highly, highly, highly recommend it, because it does pay off. Because again, I've got TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, and I think that's it right this second. But we have all of those things, and everything that encompasses those, the not just the platform and what we post, but the actual platform itself. So you have to make sure your profile is completely up to date, that there's continuous changes in link trees, and that everything links together, and then it all goes to where it's supposed to go. And then whenever it's posted, what you post here, you're not going to post that same thing over here. You're going to post a snippet of this over to here, but then that from Instagram drops down into your Facebook. Well, that's just your business, your business page. Well, what about your personal page? Is your personal page your personal page, or do they know you off your personal page? Like I have a personal page that people have hit up more than they have my business. So now there has to be a link between my business and my personal page, and back and forth. And then on top of that, I don't have time to post my personal stuff because I'm busy doing all this other junk. So I don't have time to go. I mean, like I'll post, be like, hey, here's a funny video of my dog. But I don't post about like, hey, we have this thing going on in the office, or what's going on here or there, or oh my gosh, I just dropped a new video. I completely forget, or I don't even know that we posted a video because they are so good at doing it.
Yeah.
They're posting all these videos all the time.
Yeah. So is that something, break that down a little bit. Is that something that your assistants in the office do, or do you have someone in the office who does that specifically, or is it completely outsourced?
So what I did, and I'll tell you what I did from the very beginning, and I'll tell you the struggles of each, and then I'll kind of tell you what I do now, because I did have where my staff had control of our social media, and some of them were really good at it. The problem was when they really weren't good at it, or it becomes the filter that everyone sees things through. And what I mean is, if you are used to, or like a specific photographer, people pick a wedding photographer based on the filters they use, because they always use them. They are the timeless photos, or the color corrected to this photo, and every one of their photos matches and looks the same. Well, all of a sudden, if they have something, if everything they do is in black and white, all of a sudden they have something in color, it's completely different from their genre, or their look.
Yeah.
Now that happens whenever you start changing hands in the office, whenever it's like this person has a social media account today, and then this person takes it over, and one of your accounts, everything looks blue, and then there's red, and then everything is purple, and then there's green, and you're like, none of these things match.
Right.
So what I did is I had somebody that took care of our social media account after that, and she was really, really good at it. But what she did was she was very, very busy with life. And what I mean by life is what she did. It wasn't her first job. It was things she did it on the side, and it became something that she did on the side. She did a really good job at it on the side, but it became one of those things that became too much for her life as well. Well, now it's not a job. That's kind of like if you hire a buddy to go do something for you, and it's something he does, but he's kind of doing it on the side. And now that job takes 5 years to do, whenever you could have paid a professional to do it, and it would have been done in like a month.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing, that their life was so busy that it was very hard for her to keep track of all of our stuff. She also didn't have the ability to manage the stuff like I needed. Also, educational on what was going on was very dated. So she knew everything from a dated point of view. Hey, yeah, I did really, really great in my business on Instagram back in the day, or Facebook back in the day. But when now we jump to Instagram, well, I don't really know that one as well. Or we jump to TikTok. I really don't know anything about this. Yeah. So then what we did was and then she got to a point where she would hire out a third-party poster. Well, that third-party poster doesn't know our office, doesn't know anything about chiropractic. All they started doing is posting everything they could about pain, or everything they could that was not what we reflected. That was annoying and kind of frustrating. So we got rid of it, because again, it was you're looking at our account and all of a sudden it's different colors. Like it's just not matching up. You can tell somebody else took it over. So then what we did is I moved to somebody who was a little bit younger, that this was their full-time job. Yeah. Well, they did a really, really great job in it and was able to keep stuff kind of aligned and helped us with the realm of a couple of different things. But she also took on the job of editing all of our videos and posts to create our TikTok videos, to create our TikTok posts. And so she took on the full responsibility of editing and posting. So now she was editing all of our videos and posts, posting them to TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And within that, that was a whole lot of work on her. And we're talking to create a 15-second video may take her quite a while because of the sound and this, and what's the appropriate video and what's the appropriate section. 5 seconds one way, the wrong way gives a skewed view of what we're looking at.
Yeah.
So she was doing all that. Well, that became too much for her. And then she also decided, through seeing our office, she decided she wanted to go back to school to do what we do to an extent. So It was really cool. Yeah. So she's doing great, but now that was too much on her. And then it made me realize I actually need a full team. And so I have somebody that comes and who videos. That way I don't have to video. That way my staff doesn't. My staff has way too much to do in the office. They don't have the time to do this stuff. And I don't want them taking up valuable time that we could be giving that energy to the patients and using it to post on social media. Because it becomes a full-time job. So I have somebody who takes video. I have somebody who edits. So their entire job is to only edit our videos. And so they will take all of our videos and they know, okay, we need an intro video for the office. We need a website video. We need hey, we're doing this new promotional thing. We need this in the office. But then every one of our TikToks, and then they're also creating the Facebook or the YouTube. And then from there, also creating the YouTube and Rumble videos. Because there are timelines. It's like we'll post one YouTube video at a time, or per week or per month, or whatever it is right now.
Yeah.
TikTok videos are multiple times per week. Facebook posts are multiple times a week. And there are specific days and whatnot. Well, those two people can't keep track of all the algorithms and when's the right time to post and what's hot right now on the algorithm or the hashtags or whatever. So now I have a social media person that's all they do, is they are the complete social media package of, like, I take care of all of your accounts. I make sure they're all up to date. Everything is right. All the link trees are right. Your bios are correct on everything. As we start to change stuff, your bio changes. As we do this, like, everything changes, like a full production. And it has helped tremendously because now she takes care of all the stuff, and she's also taking care of my personal Instagram, which then feeds into my Facebook. So we've created these like little waterfalls. And now she can throw something into my Instagram saying, hey, by the way, check out this new post that we had on our other page. Yeah. And then that drops down in my Facebook. So now we're reaching everybody on my personal pages, all of the people in our business pages, all the way up through TikTok and Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, and then whatever other potential, chances we can get. But that's why, like, there are a lot of, it takes some of the personality of me away from that to an extent. The person that we use knows chiropractic because I have talked to her about chiropractic. She knows it. I'm not going to use somebody that doesn't know anything about chiropractic because it's, when you're in pain, come see us. And that's not what we're about. I want it to be about this relationship and this personality. So she has that personal touch. And then I'm able to give input on stuff I see. If I see something like, hey, we can't post those anymore, or hey, let's stay away from this, or this is speaking too far into this realm of something that I don't want to get into, so let's bring it back this way. So now I'm managing rather than posting. What I mean, that's what I'm talking about like, you have somebody else do the editing, because it's just not, it's so much time and energy, and by the time you're done, you're like, yeah, I did it, and 10 hours have gone by and you've made one video, and you've done nothing else in the day. And as people who work and as people who, have other things to do, you get to a point where you eventually go, I need to delegate, and I'm going to go ahead and give this off to somebody else because I don't have the time or energy for it. And I suck at it. So I'd rather somebody who's way better do it.
Yeah. And those moments, there's sometimes where I'm like, I just wanted to write some words. I just wanted to write. How did I get myself into these things? I just wanted to write and talk. And I'm sure, you wanted to adjust animals and adjust people, and then you wanted to share it. And now here you are like, oh yeah. So I'm glad you're not, that's actually, I think, really inspiring and comforting for doctors to know, like, they don't have to learn video editing because because it's hard. Like I will be like, I have 15 horses to work on today.
Like as soon as we get off the phone, I'll be heading out to start, and I probably won't stop until 5 or 6 o'clock tonight. So, but normally I have people that go with me that will video. Well, on the days that they don't, I still need to catch that footage. And so I'm editing, or not editing, but I will catch the video myself. And so I'm like, okay, so what video angle would look good for this specific shot? But all of my shots, because I don't have somebody that, is walking around me today, I am having to set cameras up in a certain way where, we can work on that. And with having somebody that's filming for you, it's great because you can, they can do everything, and you just flow like normal.
Yeah.
Whenever you have to do everything, you are literally going, okay, hold still for a second. I got to move the camera over to here. And it becomes more of a publicity thing for you. And again, the patients aren't going to stick around very long. I found that out the hard way too. Patients want to be treated as patients and want to be respected. And when you waste their time for your video fun stuff, they don't stay patients very long. And the $5 you were going to make off that one post because of your monetized versus the $55 they were going to pay per your visit for as long as they were going to come in, that is a big deal. Yeah. That is a really big deal. So I value my patients over the monetization or the social media stuff. And honestly, just telling off the, from the bottom of my heart, being famous on TikTok is not as cool as it sounds. Yeah. I had a little boy or a teenager reach out to me, and this was honestly really sad, but he sent me a text. He goes, if I could just be as famous as you are, I think my life would be so much better. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's terrible. Like, no, like it's this TikTok fame stuff. And honestly, like I had like nervous breakdowns because of the amount of attention we were getting. I mean, it was like our phones were blowing up, our Facebook was blowing up, all this stuff was blowing up. And I was the one having to control all that, plus run my practice, plus take care of all my patients, it plus make the videos and all this stuff. It became way too much. And now I have no problem delegating because I'm like, I have less stress in my life. Yeah. And here you go. Like they're the ones telling me, hey, this video got this many views. I'm like, sweet, cool. I had no idea. And I don't care. Like,
yeah, it is so much healthier. Even I think like around Christmas or something, I turned off my notifications, and it was like, when you realize like it's even a brain chemistry dopamine hit when it's like, ooh, that went viral. Oh, that feels good. And then it's like, or if you're just continuing on with what you need to do and what your goal and your intent is, like you said. Right. So
yeah, it's completely different.
There is so many parts of that I think when I talk to chiropractors that they get hung up on of, like when I'm adjusting somebody, I don't want to be like, hey, can we take a selfie? And having that streamlined so that it does all connect, and also having where then you have professional videos that are just ready,
right,
is so smart and such a good system. I want to circle back a little bit to when you were saying, some chiropractors I know who love the principle of chiropractic and are a little bit afraid of doing a lot of adjustment videos and doing those, back cracking videos. Right. But I think that you've done such a good job of balancing that with education. And like you said, with sharing the chiropractic principle, I think that it's a really, like, how do you check in on yourself and on your team and everything to make sure you have a good balance there?
So I think it's the intent behind what I'm doing. So whenever I'm working on somebody, like with the animals, we're filming the idea behind the animals. We're working on, we're working on them, and we can say, hey, here's the story of this animal or whatnot. But whenever it comes to, let's just say people, sometimes it is, we're getting these videos, and then we are getting the relief videos. We are getting the, we get the stories. The stories are what really hit home for people. If you look at something that is this long, snap, snap, crackle, pop, 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 cool. That might grab some attention to some people, but all it does is show that you know how to pop a bone. And I say pop a bone literally because, like, as a principled chiropractor, we don't pop anything, we don't crack anything, we adjust. And through that adjustment, there may be a cavitation. But if you're just popping stuff to pop stuff, then that will grab some attention. But what is your motivation behind it? Is your motivation to grab viewers, or is it, let me show you the value of what I do because of the value of what I do? Not, let me show you the value of what I do, very, very watered down to, hey, watch this pop. So I check myself in that. And I know a lot of people do that and they get traction from that. And part of it, there's a very fine line, because we get, our egos will get in the way. And I 100% have been there. And I have been over that, where I've got the big head and I'm walking around, I'm like, everybody knows who I am.
Yeah.
And I realized nobody knew who I was, but I walked around thinking everyone did, because I just got, my head was inflated. And we very quickly do that when some of our videos start taking off and all, and we don't think about the reason why they're taking off or why we want them to take off. We're thinking about ourselves, and we're thinking about how far this is going to take me, and what's it going to do for me. And then even if it never brings anybody into your practice, I know there are plenty of docs I see on there. I look at your practice, I look at the room you're in, and I know you don't adjust anybody. I know that based on how you adjust, whenever I see your technique is awful. And if your technique is awful, it means you're not seeing very many people. And if you're seeing very many people, 100%, I bet you're seeing only the people that you're going to video. The amount of people we video is very, 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 very little compared to the amount of people that we don't. I mean, we have stories come in all the time, and I'm like, this would make a great video, but it's not appropriate.
Right.
This person is going through so much. I'm not going to walk up to them in their first day and they're in so much pain. I'm like, hey, I know I'm going to help you. Can I video this? I think it'd be really cool.
Right.
It's super inappropriate. So there is a time and place to video. And I've hired somebody out that way. And I say that it's somebody that comes in our office and will do video for us and then take that video and we can edit it. That person is very good about, like, we judge based on what's going on. Hey, do you mind if we just take a couple of videos real quick? We have somebody coming in the office. If not, it's not that big of a deal. I don't want there to ever be pressure on you that you think that, we need to do this. It's just completely up to you. And they're like, yeah, sure, I don't care. And if ever there's a, well, and I'll be like, you know what? Don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. This is strictly for us. And it's not a problem at all. Now, we do have people that come in, they're like, hey, are you videoing today? Like, what are we on video? Yeah, sure. Like, we'll video you. Cool. Because you want to.
Yeah.
But there's a very fine line whenever you're working with those people, because what happens is they come to you for care. They come to you because they want to feel better. And you're only worried about the interaction you can get because of a video versus giving that person the care they need. If you walked in and you're talking to your doctor and you're sick and you're hurting, and he's like, yeah, we're going to get you better. Do you mind if we video this? I think it'd be great on my social media. You're a jackass. And like that. Yeah, that'd be insane. But I see that all the time, especially in these social media posts. And I actually know of people who have called up some of those doctors. Hey, I saw you on TikTok and I'm in your area and I'm in a lot of pain and I'd love to come see you. The message they get from the CA, hey, if you could fill out this application, and doctor right now is only taking patients that are okay with being filmed. What? Yeah. You just turn somebody away because you didn't know if they were video worthy. You have to fill out an application. It's not their office has applications. It's not a new patient first visit package or paperwork. It's an application to see if you're worthy enough to come on my show. I'm like, at that point, you're not a doctor. You're a show host. And at that point, like, that's what I'm saying. There's a very, very, very fine line. And walking that line, you constantly have to keep yourself in check, because if you don't, you go off the other end and you end up like these doctors that are celebrity doctors that don't ever touch a patient unless it's for video. And when they do, it's terrible. And it's not hard to spot those doctors out. Or here's the other line, is the other fine line of shock appeal. There are plenty of cringeworthy doctors on YouTube and TikTok and Facebook and everything else where it's the attention grabber with the girl in the bikini or the whatever. It's like, now you are doing this as a show because you don't know how to be a doctor. Right. So, and that's just my personal take on it, as somebody who can say that I have a practice that I see dozens of people in a day. And by dozens, I mean, we see over 40, 50, 60, 80 people in a day, plus seeing 20 something animals 5 days a week. Easily can take on more patients, plus they're doing all the social media stuff we have the experience to say it. We've been at that top level where we can say we've been in the social media realm, and I've done the interviews and all that stuff where I can say that 100%. I'm looking at it going, I see the full picture now, and there's a very, very, very fine line to walk, and I'll leave it at that. I'm sorry, that was another long one. It's just that one always irks me because we're supposed to be building each other up, and we're supposed to be a professional or professionals, and too often we are reduced down to the video that some other idiot made. Right. And I get all the time. There's a chiropractor who got out of school, decided he doesn't like chiropractic, became a PT to an extent, and trashes chiropractic. His entire TikTok is based on trashing chiropractic. Oh man. And he's talking about the activator, and he's like, oh, this thing is fake, and puts up against his eye. He's like, it doesn't do anything. And so whenever people see me using on a video, they're like, well, that doesn't do anything. I saw it on that TikTok chiropractor, and he said it was fake, so I'm saying it's fake. And I'm like, well, that guy's an idiot. He's using what looks like a toy from Walmart. Mm-hmm. That's not the same thing. Take mine, put it up to your eyeball. I dare you. Take a video of me. I'll just put it up to your eyeball. We'll video it, and then we'll post it online. Whenever you have a black eye or your eyeball is burst, then you can show people that it really works. But what I'm saying is that we are subjugated to all these other people and what they do in their videos and their social media. So making sure our social media is very, very accurate to what we do and not cringeworthy and very what it's supposed to be is extremely important to make sure that we're not only affecting our social media platforms and our practice, but other people's practices around us.
Yeah, the whole realm of chiropractic. What would you say to chiropractors who are also just hesitant to post anything? That they're like, I don't want to post any videos because of these other accounts, because of this perception, who hesitate to, even post any pictures, who hesitate about, well, maybe my patients will, it's probably easier with an animal who's just happy to be cared for, but patients who might be hesitant to be in it. What do you say to people who are or doctors who are just hesitant to post anything?
That's kind of a complicated answer. And the reason I say that is that as posting animals, I am under fire all the time, because if I post a video that shows an animal and it looks like the animal's being hurt, but there's no chance of it looking like it's getting better, I'm immediately reamed. And I'm talking like immediately reamed from not only people who don't like chiropractic, but from PETA and a bunch of other stuff where people are just very kind of all over. So like I just got a message, I think I just now got a message from my associate, and I could barely see off in the corner, but it's a Google review. And I bet you it's a Google review from somebody who's never been in our office, who posts that I'm an animal beater. But whenever we're looking at other practices, if you're doing something, or if you're not sufficient, or if you don't feel like you are proficient in what you do, then I ask you not to post anything. If you're going to post something, post maybe not videos or pictures of yourself, but maybe pictures of your staff or pictures of your office or something of that nature. But if it's going to be about your adjusting, if you're not proficient, you're adjusting, and you're not, I'm going to ask you become proficient in it before you start posting stuff, because you don't not only make you look bad, but you make everybody else look bad. If you are going to post, make sure it's really great quality. If you're hesitant to post and you are good at what you do, then post in a way that makes everybody look good, in that you're posting things that matter, things that resonate with you and that reflect who you are as a person and resonate what your office stands for. Don't just post to post, but make sure you're very selective and intentional with your posts. If your office is all about, let's say you're a pain clinic, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but let's say you're a pain clinic or a PI clinic, then post about being a pain clinic or a PI clinic. And post, like, own what you do 100%. And if you own what you do 100%, you should have no problem telling the world of what you do. Yeah. I'm hoping that answered it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I will wrap this up. Thank you so much for your time. Everybody should check out your accounts, and I'll put those in the show notes so that everybody can find those and be inspired. And yeah, I definitely think the TikTok effect of wanting to just watch one after another and being like, is that a zebra? Is that a snake? That is so fun. And it is also so educational how you have done it. And I appreciate that. I have an overweight lab who I'm looking at, and I'm like, you need to be adjusted, don't you, buddy?
Yeah.
And that's what's wonderful is, you know, we have families, we have friends, we have coworkers, we have pets. And when we come in contact with, oh, here is a natural way of helping the body to self-regulate, self-heal, that's amazing. And it's wonderful to, whether it's for ourselves or for our families and pets, to learn about that and know that. And, you know, I think the other thing is too, it makes it so easy for somebody to say, hey, I'm going to share this fun video with you, and you can learn about, you know, your baby with colic. I'm going to share this fun video with you, and you can learn about your overweight lab who probably needs his
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that dog. So yeah, it makes it so easy for people to learn and share and refer and be inspired. And I really appreciate what you do and
Yeah, no
and how you share it. And thanks for talking with us today.
Yeah, no problem. So I had a great time talking to you guys, and I apologize that I kind of just let things flow, and so there's a lot that I said that probably, you know, it's probably like, hey, that's great information, we probably should include that in our stuff. But that's me, you know, I just tell it as it is, and I'll give my honest answer. And I would tell anybody that. I mean, I could be on a talk show and just be like, yeah, it got miserable being TikTok fan, because it really is like the popularity stuff. I mean, is one thing, but like it's kind of neat, you know. But after a while, you eventually get tired of everybody being like, oh my god, I saw you on this. Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
sweet. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and fade, you know, glory fades. So but anyway, you know, there's a lot that, like, doing what I do now, like I see it from a different, I see it kind of in a different light, and it makes me appreciate when it's done properly, and then it really irks me when it's not. So like I said, I just appreciate it, appreciate everything. So
thank you so much. And yeah, we will talk to you again soon.
sounds like a plan.
All right. Have a great
All right, cool.
afternoon.
Yes, ma'am, you too.
Thanks. Bye.